Hi, Ambassador Larry Huggins here in Barcelona. It's a beautiful, cool day. It's kind of like San Francisco weather, very nice. I'm sitting in an outdoor cafe here. Here's a family having a little drama there with their kids. And a very pleasant day, and I decided to do my broadcast here. In fact, this is the second broadcast. I just got through doing a whole broadcast, and it looks like it didn't upload because of a poor connection. We'll see how this does. I've been teaching on praying in tongues for quite a few weeks, and I'm going to wrap it up today. This will be my last one for a while. I got a lot more to say about praying in tongues. I hope you do it every day, but I want to do a little series on faith. So starting tomorrow, we'll be talking about faith. I've got some things to say that'll help you and bless you and activate your faith. I want you to have faith that produces results. Okay, two scriptures, John 7:38. He that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. What does that mean? Out of your belly button? Out of your stomach? No, it means out of your mouth. Your mouth is part of your belly, so out of your mouth will flow rivers, plural, of living water. Rivers, think about that, plural. Revelation 1:15, John was on the Isle of Patmos, and he had a vision of Jesus, and I love this description of the vision. And he saw Jesus, hair white as wool and eyes flames of fire, and out of his mouth a two-edged sword. But it says his voice was as the sound of many waters, many waters. Many waters. What does that sound like? What does many waters sound like? Well, let's start with water. It can be solid, and when it's a solid, it can crack. I've seen these glaciers calving up in Alaska, in the fjords of Alaska, and they make a tremendous sound when they crack. And the sound of hail. Hail is another solid form of water. And I've been in hailstorms where there was knobby-looking hailstones the size of golf balls. I've been out in it, been pounded by hail, and it makes a lot of different noises. And then there's steam that hisses and spews. And then there's more of the sound of liquid water. And there are thousands of words that describe water and the nature of water. Well, what are some of the things that water can do? Well, water gives life, water cleanses and purifies, but water also shapes the geography of the world. It carves mountains into valleys, and it changes the coastline. And it creates the plains and the alluvial deposits and the deltas. Water is such a huge part of our experience. 4/5 of the world's surface is covered by water. You and I are over 60% water. The Bible has a lot to say about water. And in the English language, I suppose this is true with every language, there are thousands of words to describe water. Let me give you a few of them. There's crashling, burbling, baffling, whooshing, plinking, pounding, sloshing, soothing, rolling, roaring, thundering, sparkling, gargling, boiling, fizzling and plopping, pattering, whispering, murmuring, clamoring, cascading, sloshing, and clamorous, and I could go on and on. There are a lot of different sounds, and the voice of Jesus' words that came out of his mouth was the sound of many waters, many waters. In other words, all kinds of expressions, all kinds of sounds without limit, sounds that go from the very quiet, still, soothing sounds to the thundering, powerful sounds of profound energy and change. And as you and I pray, we should be open to allowing the Holy Spirit to pray through us with diversity. The Bible talks about diverse tongues, different kinds of tongues. And you should experience that. You should experience the sounds of many waters, not just a few waters, but many waters. If you think about what water can do, it can cut through steel, it can drill through stone, it can polish diamonds. Water is an amazing force upon the earth, and rivers of living water come out of you. And when you're praying in tongues, these rivers come, and it should produce different kinds of sounds. Different kinds of sounds represent different kinds of effects and processes and forces that are released through you. I know what I'm talking about. I mentioned this yesterday that my son, who was stillborn, was raised from the dead after I prayed in tongues and with such force and such fury. It was like Niagara Falls was released on the inside of me and was coming out of my mouth. It's hard to describe what an effulgence of power was coming out of me. It felt like it would unhinge my jaws. There was so much force behind it. And I know, I listen to people, and a lot of people just have the same repetition of sounds over and over. And whatever stammering lip or other tongue they got when they're born again, they're kind of stuck with it. It doesn't have to be that way. In fact, it shouldn't be that way. If you're an imitator of Jesus, if you're created in his image, if he's the firstborn of many brethren, then there should also be the sound of many waters coming out of you. So just give yourself over to it. Next time you pray in tongues, just let it flow. Don't think about what it sounds like. Don't think about what you're doing. Just let it flow and let it go. It'll be kind of like starting at the beginnings, the wellspring of a little tributary that trickles, and then it gets bigger and deeper and faster and goes farther, and it moves through eddies and over submerged boulders and in whirlpools and cascades over cataracts, and becomes thunderous, and then it spreads out and flows into the sea, where it manifests in waves and torrents and storms, and there is no limit to what can come out of you. And it should reflect what's going on in the inside of you. Different challenges, different needs require different expressions of the Holy Spirit. And it's up to you to allow the Holy Spirit to flow through you with that kind of freedom and that kind of variety. So again, I'm saying let the sound of many waters come out of you. I hope you learned something. This is short and sweet. This is Ambassador Larry in Barcelona, Spain. Again, I invite you to be with us at Z Church. You can be with us on the Z Church platform or on Facebook. And this week, perhaps YouTube Live. We're going to try to do that. But if you want to participate in Z Church and be on the Z Church platform where you can see and be seen and worship and pray and receive words of ministry, then write me, Pastor Larry, at zchurch.life. I'll send you a link and a password. It's very secure. You can be with me. And remember, it's always a good idea to bless the ministries that bless you. And so if my devotions, teachings, and ministry blesses you, then you have a right to reciprocate and expect a miracle. He who receives a prophet because he is a prophet gets the prophet's reward. You say, how do we give to you? Go to my website, zchurch.life, and look at the menu, and it says give. That's the easiest way to do it. You can give by PayPal, you can text to give, you can give on our donation link, but any way you want to do it is fine with me. We appreciate your gifts, your tithes, your offerings, and we want to hear from you. Hope to see you this Saturday, 10 o'clock a.m. at Z Church Live. Email me, Pastor Larry at zchurch.life. God bless you, and adios de Barcelona, España.